All right. So I'm here with Joe today.
Live.
Live, that's right. And I strive for stoicism. I fail all the time, and I don't think Joe does at all. He lets it all hang out and gets angry. But the one thing I think we both can agree on is that we believe that adults should be able to listen, hear, and decipher things for themselves, and they don't need somebody else to filter that. If you're, yeah,
People get angry.
people do get angry, but here's the deal. I mean, and you may not like what you hear, but just because you don't like what you hear doesn't mean that other people shouldn't be able to hear what has to be said, and that's what's happening today. Uh, things that people don't like hearing. They'll either call it a conspiracy theory or they call it hate speech, and it's like who makes that decision, Joe? Who makes a decision on what is hate speech and what is a conspiracy theory? You know?
Do these things really exist at all?
I
I mean,
mean,
are they conspiracies anymore? No. Are they? All these other things. People have these emotions. What do you want? What are you gonna do?
well, I guess they feel that the public that certain information is too dangerous for the mass of people to hear. As Brian Stelter one time said, freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom of reach. But I thought, the main thing of an internet was so that your or my voice can reach the most amount of people.
But now you know that the internet's nothing more than just another power grab. That's all
Well,
it's proven to be.
it seems like there's information out there that people don't want to hear and they don't like, so they think, yeah, you shouldn't have reach because they think that the populace will react in such a way that will make things worse uh, for people or for the majority of people. That's the way that it's thought of, and that's primarily with the left. Uh, I think with the right, it's more akin to, like, I mean, before it was the right that was in favor of censorship because of pornography and violence on TV and movies, and the left was always pushing for freedom of expression. But now it's the left that is pushing for censorship and cancel culture in the name of tolerance, and I guess also they believe certain things are too hateful to talk about, and it's like, really? I mean,
And they also have the all for one for all for one kind of mentality going. It's the whatever. It's the new Marxism and communism combination.
yeah, well, it's like we all have to think alike. I mean, to a degree, I think to a large extent there are certain subjects that everyone must agree on, and if anyone deviates from that, then you can be punished. And of course, I remember Francesca Ramsey said, freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequences, but who decides those consequences? Who decides who gets punished and who doesn't? And it seems like the ones doing the punishment, uh, the ones doing the punishment do not get, are not good at taking a taste of their own medicine. I think that Christy Teigen is an example
Who's
of
that?
She is a person on Twitter who really said some pretty nasty and awful things, but this is a lot of the left, and I do believe today that that social media has allowed the left to get away with things that the right could never get away with. They're allowed to be violent, and the news media won't cover it. And anytime the right gets violent, they paint with a very broad brush any conservative, and they're allowed to get away with it. And there are things you're not allowed to criticize. There are topics that you're not allowed to talk about. And as a person that's inquisitive, that has an open mind and wants a more just society, I want to talk about things. For example, critical race theory. I mean, I know you go to, but here's the thing: you can't. I mean, like people always ask conservatives to define it. Well, is there a simple definition for this thing? Because there's so many just different types of definitions to this thing that there's really not there's not a lot of clarity on it, and that's just my opinion on that.
It'll never be clear because it's a construct. It's designed to keep you confused, and it's never going to be clear. Why would it be clear?
Yeah, I think a lot of egotists and narcissists latch on to
Oh, they
things.
love it.
They love it, yeah, and they like the because it gives them an ego boost to like, oh, you don't know what that's not critical race theory. Can you define it? Can you explain it? I've studied it, and it's more of a gaslighting, and even though they don't think they're gaslighting, really they are, and they're very vindictive, very nasty people.
I'm just going to stop the camera for a second here. I gotta...
Oh, so Joe is leaving and he's stopping the camera.
No, we're not. We're good. Just go. We just need some air.
He's pushing up the window right now, so we'll go back onto the camera. But the thing is, when you open up the window, sound comes. I wonder if sound comes in.
I'd rather have fresh air.
Yeah, you're dying in here. But yeah, there's. It's kind of sad what we're seeing, and I've gone to the point where, on average, debating people online on things, and I do get angry. Some of these people are so fanatical. I kind of want to point that out to them, but I know that it's kind of useless to do that. So, I mean, in my thinking mind, I know this, but in my emotional mind, I'm like, I want to challenge them and show them for the hypocrites that they are, but that's more of an ego thing, and it doesn't really help the situation. Not that I can help the situation. We're just two people right now on a podcast, and we have a small website. We don't have a lot of resources. So we're just basically trying to get to some truth and to some reality here. And truth, transparency and merit. Something has to be transparent, in my opinion, to have merit. You have to know the ins and outs of it. And that's the same thing with, that's what it is with critical race theory. There's not a lot of transparency because there's not a real clear definition on what it is. So, like I said, it's something that seems to be used by narcissists and egotists to make talking points.
I find it all to be a bunch of phooey.
It probably is. Yeah. There's a lot of other things that are just phooey too.
There is. And I want to get into some of those topics. There's some shows I really want to get into, some ideas, especially ideas of, because I don't hear it as much because I never supported it. So people I talk to don't do it as much, but there was a lot of diagnosing people online like 5 years ago. Like, that's bipolar. This person has some kind of chemical imbalance. That's an addict. And I'm glad that I talked out against that because people don't do that as much around me.
Well, I have, by the way.
You're the biggest culprit.
You know what? I have accused people of being a narcissist. Just the only thing is they show pattern recognition of what I see is narcissistic behavior. They may not be narcissists, but people can show narcissistic behavior and not be narcissistic, And I don't know if there are different levels of a personality disorder and if they can be helped, because there are people that have left that, that no longer have that kind of moral superiority, which I think is kind of it's kind of it seems like that narcissism would come with it, because I think a lot of people who believe themselves to be morally superior, that's kind of a narcissistic thing. I'm so much holier than thou, and that's what I see with a lot of people on the left. They're condescending, and they think they know it all. And then if you go further down like the rabbit hole with them, and you go further down a conversation, there are things that that if you ask them questions, they will not answer you, or they'll try to answer a question with another question, and they'll never give you a straight answer. I can go into examples, but I think
You should give an example.
Oh, well, I'll ask a question about, like, when they talk about critical race theory in the different books. I ask, is Colin Flaherty's White Girl Bleed a Lot one of the books to be read out there? And they'll say something like that is a white supremacist talking point. And I said, is what Colin Flaherty said to be untrue? And why would you downplay black on white mob violence? Why would you do that?
Nobody cares about him.
Well,
no, Colin Flaherty doesn't matter.
Well, it doesn't matter because he's censored. I mean, he's one of the most censored people on the internet, but nothing he said is untrue. Everything that he's done, whether it be on his video timeline.
By the way, we are hostages right now. We are at sea, and I hope that somebody comes and rescues us.
There we go.
Somebody said we look like we're prisoners.
Get the. Where's the guy with the gun in the camera? He's got to get it out of the camera. Yeah. Well, I mean,
we're going to play Russian roulette for dinner tonight.
Yeah. We're going to recreate the scene from the Deer Hunter. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, I mean, and this is just my opinion, and Joe has a different opinion about Colin Flaherty or Stefan Molyneux.
I generally, when it comes to YouTube, I can't deal anymore. They could all just be blown up.
Well,
I gave it a try, and it's all useless.
I do gain information sometimes out of it, and some of the things they say are true. Other things, I think they perhaps miss the point. But I like Tim Pool, which, Joe, I know you're not a fan of.
Another piece of shit.
And I like Mike Norton, but Mike Norton, after the BLM Antifa protests, after the whole George Floyd incident, he kind of toned down his stuff. Of course, because he would be, they started heavily censoring people, and I just find that kind of sad that people have to censor their true selves, you know.
And Antifa's here.
Yeah. Beanie hat bitch. Who is High? Is High Ridge Estates? Is that Scott?
That's Scott.
Oh, there we go. Now, I have been hostile to Scott primarily because he seems to dress in solidarity with Antifa. He wears his avatar is a mask covering his face, and the one thing is, I'm an extremist when it comes to self-defense, and if I think someone's going to be violent, I get into my extreme mode, and yeah, and he's laughing, but that's who I am. I and sometimes I'm wrong.
Sometimes you're wrong all the time.
Well, I mean, to Joe, I'm wrong all the time. I think I'm wrong sometimes. We're all wrong.
It's a daily battle with you.
Really?
Every day.
What do you think I'm most wrong about?
everything. You just start from, if you're not calling BS on the system from the ground up, and if you don't recognize that the world changed in 1933, it's never recovered. We went off the gold standard. We the whole fiat money system, everything's. Did you know that the Library of Congress is closed? Do you know what's held at the Library of Congress?
What?
I'll tell you, your name is on file at the Library of Congress. It's the library of last resort, you should know. Anyways, we're going to get into that one day. I think that once you realize the scandal, the scheme, the planning, what's gone down in this country, why would you give these people an ounce of your energy when you know if they're protecting this system, they're complete garbage?
Well, there's a lot of layers to go over on that. I think ego plays a role in that. And fear and ego play a
AIDS is washed up on the shores.
Now, I remember calling Mandy remembers me calling her a name, and I don't ever.
What did you call her?
I don't want to say what I called her.
I want to hear it.
No, because I think YouTube might censor it.
Mongoloid? Is that what it was? Mongo?
That was.
He meant mango.
Mango Mandy. You know what I have?
I'm going to be embarrassed in a minute here.
By the way,
Mandy Mongoloid.
I thought it was Mongo Mandy, but I'll be honest with you. I have a vile. I have a vile sense of humor that was given.
Do you know that pooping was never on TV until what show?
All in the Family?
Married with Children. And then suddenly toilet humor became accepted.
I thought that Archie Bunker did flush a toilet one time.
There may have been some of that. I think I don't know if that's true or not, because I've heard that for the first time it was Married with Children.
No.
Anyways, it changed the landscape of television.
I guess I was I was
so embarrassed right now. There's people watching us. Turn it off.
Now, why is it racist on a few levels to call some? Oh my God. Mongo. I guess I was mean to Mandy.
Yes.
Now, do you remember that?
I had my own issues with Mandy.
I'll tell you something. I don't handle Discord. I'm not on Discord that often, but I would get all these things like, what's, Mr. Midnight Movie and JP. Like, what is JP doing? What is wrong with him? He's gone. Debbie would always.
You probably had to defend me a couple times.
I'm like, well, what I actually would say was, Joe has his opinions and I have mine, and it's like, I don't take what he says personally. I don't care. The only time I would care is if, I don't even care if someone tells me to shut up, unless I think that they might be violent, and then I care. All right, Jesus, come on now. But and Mandy thinks you're hot. And Mandy said she's shown what she looks like on cam.
Good.
I've yet to see that.
That's good.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. She's not Mongo Mandy?
No. Maybe.
Is she maybe a KDD? God. Some of this stuff people won't even know. But I am vulgar. Like, I do have a vulgar and sometimes some might even say a vile sense of humor. But I think I wonder if Mandy took it personally. I think we should invite Mandy on. Do you think she'll come on? Here's an invite.
I can't deal with this camera, so let's hurry it up.
Why can't you deal with the camera?
I don't like doing shows with camera.
Oh, really? Are you ashamed of yourself?
A little bit.
Mongo Mandy.
Look what happened to me.
Well, now
I've known him for 10 years, and now look at me.
Yeah. Well, she thinks you're cute. Mongo, can you come on? Can we see what you look like, Mongo? I'm kidding.
Mongo.
What am I doing? That's horrible.
But there was a movie, right? Mongo.
Well, yeah, there was a
Mongo Vixens, or
I wonder now, is Mongo considered racist?
I don't know. But do some saggy poses.
All right. So it was getting kind of silly here, and
anybody can use that link if you want to join us. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. Mandy,
we got to take her.
Yes.
Were you hurt by what I
do I have cream cheese on my face?
By what I said to you when I called you Mongo Mandy?
No, I wasn't hurt. You couldn't hurt me, Brian. You can try. It's cute, but no.
Well, you never really hurt me either, even though you yelled at me.
I never yelled at you. I've always been nice to you.
I had something go on with Mandy. She's not always nice. She hasn't always been nice.
Yes, but
I am nice. I'm a very nice person. Just don't come at me sideways.
But now you did take up Scott's side, and to me, I see Scott to a degree as kind of a covert Antifa type. Just because he wears.
I took Scott's side for what? When did I do that?
It was, I absolutely do not recall.
Because I didn't. So.
Doesn't.
I didn't. I never took his side on any sort of Antifa stuff because I don't care for any of that.
Well, no, I mean you were saying that I was picking on him.
Did I?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
But maybe I was.
You probably were.
You know what? I'll tell you. Like I said, he does.
Andy, this is a hostage situation. I'd appreciate your honesty here.
My honesty.
Actually, both of yours. But we're in a hostage situation here at this place, so I'm just informed.
I'm pretty sure you are, considering the fact that you're knee deep in floss sticks there. You know.
Yes.
Well, we have some for you too, Mandy. If you ever want to come over.
I'll make a day of it. Definitely make a day of it. Go there, just floss my teeth. No, you have a whole bag. I'll bring you a new bag.
I have to, because I'm diabetic. My teeth, I have to keep very good care of my teeth. Although it is good to brush 3 times a day.
Yes, it is.
What was I going to say?
I don't know.
So you were never
look so flustered.
You would never really talk to me like when I called you. I don't. For a long time, you'd just be very.
You said I had Down syndrome. You said I think Mandy is Down syndrome.
I think you asked her if she's in a wheelchair.
Yeah, you did ask me if I was in a wheelchair. You did ask me if I was Down syndrome. You said that I sounded like I looked Down syndrome.
Well, to be honest with you, not only has Antifa attacked me, but I have been catfished before. And and a lot of times, women that don't show themselves are often a little bit on like the Mistress Nicole, like I don't know. But some of them are a little bit like, oh, I'm so sexy and I'm so hot, and then all of a sudden,
I don't proclaim myself to be sexy or hot. I don't do any of that. I mean, if you want to see what I look like, I'll show you. I mean, I don't really care.
Okay.
It's not a big deal to me. I don't do it because, you know,
Or
being
you're-
a female on the internet is it's kind of a scary thing.
You're probably right on that. It's because there are stalkers on there. I'm not one of them.
Yes, there are. But I'm just saying, you always have those women that come on and they always talk very sexual to people, or they come off very sexual or overly sexual, and then they post these like sexual pictures of themselves, and then once you actually see them, it's a completely different story. And I don't do any of that. I don't need to.
Yeah. Well, and now, would you ever consider Joe or I to be like stalkerish? Do you think we would be apt?
No,
I'm a little bit, little stalkerish.
it's pretty hot.
Actually, yeah. I mean, well, for me, and you can believe it or not, but my diabetes, I couldn't, I can't even fly on a plane right now because my diabetes. I go to the bathroom so many times. Like,
Yeah,
if I were stalking you, like,
you should get a catheter.
Yeah, be like, I'll follow you, but I gotta pee.
when I'm running after.
Oh, wait, Mandy, wait. Can you just stop at that gas station there? I gotta piss real quick.
I'll find you as I'm running after you, like stalking you, and then I gotta detour the restroom. Then I'm gonna go run after.
Oh, come on, Brian. We both know you're not gonna run after me. Come on.
I think I can outrun you.
Doubtful.
Can you run?
I used to be in track. Yeah, I used to be in track. I used to do the hurdles and everything.
Really?
Yeah, I used to do that in high school.
Can you do the long jump and stuff?
I did do the long jump, but I was never good enough at it.
Could you outrun Joey?
No way.
Probably, yeah.
No, you can't. No.
Probably.
No.
Probably could. Definitely. I'll have to hold my boobs down, but I definitely could.
I think we're going to Austin, and I think now if I were given a head start, could I say it was a 100-yard dash, and I was given a 20-yard.
100%. Because you would shuffle. You would do that shuffle run, that shuffle man run.
Oh, would you put like $100 on it?
I'd put 200 on it.
Now, how about Joey? You think you could beat him fair and square?
Don't lose your money. Save it.
Facts. Bet, motherfucker.
Okay, I think that
Is that a challenge?
Yeah, that's a challenge. I think we're gonna. Would you want to be paid in Bitcoin or actual dollars? Shekels.
Definitely shekels. Got to go back to my roots.
Yes.
There we go. Well, folks, is there anything else to add before we call this show a day?
I cannot wait to get off this goddamn thing.
Yes.
But no, thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
thank
you.
Thank you for inviting me. It was lovely to see you guys and definitely chat with you both.
And I think I'm going to do an early Father's Day show. And
nice.
We both have fathers that are no longer. Well, if you don't mind me saying, we both have fathers that are no longer with us. So, it might be good to add. I thought you, me, and Darren. Talk about our old man.
Definitely.
All right. Well, it was good talking to you, Mandy. Anything else to add before I call the show a day? Oh, you said it's already fun. All right, guys. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Mandy.
Thank you.